Flash on. Flash off. Stop. Just, yeah. You want to eat something? You want to eat something? Yeah, I'm just. She's more trying to find a way to get AI integrated into a research project. Yes. And the other woman, we know her from, yeah. But I'd like to discuss also a long term project more. Yes. The thing that I'd like to, so come back, I'll talk to him about what plans I would like to make. Basically, I would like to find a way to fund your operation and hire you and provide you with income of some kind. So some of the things that I was thinking about, first of all, to do something that can result in a cash flow. And I would like to ask your opinion about it. I know about a lot about business, and I've been working as a programmer and programmer analyst. And I think that right now, the way that we can get some kind of an immediate cash flow is in education and in like Call Annie, like a friendly thing like Annie that is easy for people to relate to, can be like a therapist. If you have psychological problems and you cannot afford to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and even if you can, sometimes it's nice to talk to a computer because people don't feel like they feel a lot more free to talk to a computer. You know what I mean? And what is your financial situation? And let me give you more specific ideas. We have some properties here at the university, some apartments that we are renting primarily to students at the university because they like to walk to the university. There is a US 1 there, and beyond the US 1, there are apartment buildings. So I was thinking maybe one way to deal with it is to provide you with a residence. I don't know if you want to live with with your father all the time. You are sharing an apartment or a house? So you have your own bedroom or? What is he doing? He's in construction, you said? He's a chef? Oh, oh, but your brother doesn't live with you and your father. Yeah, so we have a two-bedroom apartment, so you can be in one bedroom and he can be in the other bedroom. When even in a one-bedroom apartment, there is a large bedroom and then there is a large dining room. So you can put even something to close part of the dining room and put a curtain. It's a condominium building, but it is just close to the university. Just you know how there's US 1 there, and there's this. No, it's not a university property. No, but a lot of the students don't want to live in the university dorm. They want to be more independent because in the university dorm, they're very strict. You know, at 10 o'clock, you have to be in the house and you cannot have parties after 10 o'clock. And, so this is one idea. I just wanted to give you some ideas of how I can compensate you and fund you until we get jobs. We also apply for grants. Like this woman, she has a grant from the federal government. So we also apply for grants to develop something new, like to have AI on your head, so, for example. And we have offices here, so we can let you work in the office, and then you can walk to the residence. Right now, I have students living there, but uh, maybe if I raise the rent, they wouldn't want to stay anymore, and I can host you and your father. Does your father rent the place where you live? And how expensive? What is the rent, more or less? A month? And how many bedrooms does it have? Three. Okay. This Coral Gables is the most expensive in Miami. I don't know if you know that. Coral Gables is more expensive because in Brickell you have high rises. Here they cannot build a 100-floor high rise because the regulation forced them to make small houses. The biggest maybe 10 floors. So which makes it more difficult because the land is very limited and they don't let you grow up. And a lot of people that work here, like in the university, they like to live close by because the traffic is pretty bad in rush hour. But anyway, so for the 2,500, you can get two bedrooms here. And three bedrooms will be a lot more than 25. This is the rent. So we have some students, so we gave them a discount because they were helping me in doing some jobs. But these jobs are over, and now they don't have time because they're PhD students. So maybe we could do something. And I'm thinking about other things. If I would like to work with you to see how well you can teach. And I'd like to make a little lesson plan with what we were planning to do. And then we will try. We know a lot of people, a lot of businesses here. I mean, we've been here. I got this 50 years, 40 years hat, maybe 5, 6 years ago. So we're almost 50 years here. So in 50 years, you just think about the number of students that were between me and her. We taught about 200 or 300 students a year. times 50, you're talking about a lot of people. And they're all over the world, but a lot of them stay in Florida and in Miami. And we do presentations like you saw every month almost, at least once or twice. So what I would like to do is I would like to work with you on Zoom to try to make a lesson, and we will take a computer that doesn't have anything on it, has 64 gig of RAM and 2 gig of SSD, solid state drive. So it's pretty fast, but it is a small laptop. And then what I want to do is I was impressed with what you showed me, this board. I wanted to go with you one time to Dateland to see those external USB-C boxes for graphic boards. And then it will give us flexibility because we can take it and attach it to your device or our device and speed the processing without having to worry about the computer. Have you had any experience to teaching or? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The students, most of our students are businessmen, are business majors and businessmen. We have some that are like this woman wanted to have an MBA. So many times people in computer science and engineering go to get a job and they tell them you don't understand anything about the business. So they go back and they get an MBA and then they have everything. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to target it to a big group of people so we find cash flow quickly. And the biggest group of people are not programmers, they're businessmen. So the question is, I wanted to come and tell them, look, if you are a programmer, great, then you can take and program it. But if are not a programmer, you can use our focus will be to target non-programmers, but also programmers. And if there are programmers, we can take them to the next step and get them involved in the development, and we'll make a team of developers. But for starters, what I wanted to do with you is to see if we will pretend that we are not programmers, like regular business people, and we will practice on us. And if the practice goes well enough, we will do as soon as you are ready, we'll work on Zoom. And then when we teach a class, we have about 30 or 40 people per class and 2 or 3 sections, so it's about 100 people. We will bring you in as a guest speaker at the beginning after you practice on us, and we will help you write the lesson plan and everything. You just do it, and you'll role play the instructor, and we will role play the students. And after we do it and we understand thoroughly what you are doing there, and you'll decide on something, we'll develop a case study, and we'll give an assignment to the students to repeat exactly the same. So, but first you'll practice on us on a Zoom session, and after we feel comfortable enough to go to the next stage, we will take it and we will write it in a lesson plan, like screenshot by screenshot, keystroke. I showed it to you before, completely idiot proof. So if you don't understand anything, you'll be able to type it and do it on your own without understanding anything. Now, if you are a programmer, of course, you can go to the next step and do all kinds of other things. But if you are not, the question is what business can we attack first and get some cash flow coming back to us? What new feature? Tell me. I may be familiar with it. Right. Hi. How are you? I would like to develop a local host off the grid mini AI that will work on a phone on a device without internet connectivity. Yes, actually, I'm aiming at running it on a head mounted tablet from Realware, and this is an Android operating system. Primarily continuous voice conversation and providing psychological services such as therapy, but hands free and using continuous voice and also image recognition and even video recognition. Yes, what we are doing is we are using an external power bank. So we don't have to worry about the battery life of the device. Even when we are running off of a phone, we are using an external battery or external power bank. And when we drain it, we have a few extra power banks. Furthermore, we are going to emulate callannie.ai, which has a vanity phone number. The phone number is 640, call Sam. So the area code is 640, and this is a vanity number, which means that the you mean transcribed. Yes. No, I know. It was trained on optimal. It's an optimal, what is called optimal or something like that. Omni. Right. Yeah, but we will have things that I explained to you nobody else has, which a vanity number. So LLM locally. Right, 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 right. Yeah, I understand, but these are not paranoid people is one class, but this is not paranoid people. Also, we will target for therapy because they're paranoid, they need therapy. But our target audience is people that need to have high security, like military applications, for example. No, the level of security, there is no comparison. You're talking about people who will be dead if it is not secure. You understand? I want you to understand what it is. If it is in Israel, for example, in Gaza, I was trying to explain to you what Gaza is and so on. But you have units of Israel inside Gaza, and they're planning attack and dealing with all kinds of ambushes, and it's important that the enemy wouldn't hear you making a plan to come to a certain place, and if they know that you come in advance, they will be there and they will kill you. You understand? So it's not a matter of being paranoid. There are many situations. I'm not saying if it is bad or good. I'm just saying that it is nothing to do with being paranoid. Snow what? Oh, the Snowden. Yes, right. But let's be more practical. I want to generate cash flow quickly. You understand? So I was telling you things that nobody has, and call any doesn't have it either. When you call, you cannot dial an AI and talk to an AI continuously. Fine. Scandal. Let him finish. What is the scandal about? Yes, never mind. Don't worry about the details. Yes. Right. Right. This is why what we are doing is totally different. First of all, you're going to have live video, you understand? So when your face is there and your voice is there, from hacket, prompt hacking. I'm sorry. Yes. 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 I want, let's, there are two areas. There is outbound call and inbound calls. That's what I wanted to tell you. What I'm talking about. I want to be very specific so you understand me well. You know what an answering machine is? No. Like voicemail. You know what voicemail is, right? The only thing it will be, instead of being a stupid voicemail that just take messages, it will be able to do a lot other things, like routing. Let's say that the number that I gave you is a computer-based number. So when you call me and I'm on the computer, the call will be coming in and I will talk to you through the computer. It is VoIP, voice over IP. Do you understand? But when I don't answer the phone, right now, you can leave a voice message and that's it. What I want to do is to have a much more powerful AI that you can ask it questions like call Annie, and you can also ask it, can you route my call? Let's say that my computer is at home and I'm here, right? If I recognize, I say, okay, when Carlos is calling, route it to my cell phone and don't just let him leave a message. So the AI will be smart enough to know to route the calls. For our task initially is internal for uh, incoming calls and not outbound calls. But somebody will be able to call, and when you call 640, call Annie. She says, "Hi, I would like to. You can call, you can talk to me on the app. Goodbye." But she doesn't continue the conversation. Do you understand? That's right, a receptionist. But an AI receptionist that is intelligent and can do much more than just an answering machine. First of all, I want to come up with something. I don't care what it is, something that works, and we can go to a business and tell them, "Look, we have something that works, and we will give you the services for free as long as we are making our experience." For us right now, it is a research project. As soon as it is good enough to make any commercial attempt, then it will be a different story. But right now, for teaching purposes, even if it is not good enough, it should be good enough to teach somebody, specifically our students, and then we will use it for ourselves. Yes. Yes, and I was talking to this guy. I don't know. There is some Arab, a Persian guy. His name is Ali. I was mentioning it in my comments. I don't know if you saw him, but he is an engineer that was, yes, he's an engineer and he's working in communication at the university to help the professor. He was setting up the presentation. Did you see a guy with a little beard? He was in the back. No, no. Anyways, but the point is that I was asking him, what do you think about this idea about a local host of the grid? And he says, this is a very interesting. I did because this will be fun. I want to get the students to be involved and engaged. There's no risk. This is like therapy is also like a game. It's a therapy. What is it? Hallucination. You have to okay. There you are confusing different things. If you are in a dealing with a registered psychologist or psychiatrist or a professional, that is a completely different ball game. But if you do just a simulation for educational purposes, I want you to understand what this is. A therapy for educational purposes, strict. You understand? Yes, we are too like we're assistant, and this is for training, and we're going to make a simulation with our students. So let's say that she will be the teacher, you'll be the guest speaker, and we'll simulate the beginning of the class 5 minutes of therapy, therapeutic talk, as if we are teaching psychologists about the technology. It is a simulation, you understand? But when we will record it and stream it to YouTube live, and we will have a little clips. So when you will look at it, it will look like a group therapy. You don't know who's the therapist and the psychologist, and the students will be like patients. This will be a simulation as if the students are, but educating psychologists to do therapy together with an AI. No, the AI will simulate the assistant to the therapist. Like she will be the therapist, for example, and she's the professor, right? And the students will be pretending to be psychologists that are learning how to handle AI and how to use AI as a sidekick. You know what a sidekick is? Like what? Yeah, but an assistant, not just a companion that helps you. You understand? And that way, we can then take it and take the classes and turn them into marketing. And we know how to top the search engine. Once we figure out what we want to do, I know how to be on the top of the search engine. We'll make ourselves number one on the first page. We will fill it up with something. And also another thing is matching. Let's say that you are looking for to find a girlfriend, right? And this way, you before you talk to the girlfriend, you practice on the AI. You understand? Like call Annie. You understand? But something like call Annie that you are not concerned because she's not a real girlfriend, but she will give you responses as if she's a friendly girl, and you can practice on her. And a lot of these students you are a little older, I think. I don't know how old you are. Yeah, but a lot of our students are maybe 19 to 23. So they're about your age group. And that these are the kind of things where hallucination will not be a risk. And I want to turn it uh, into some kind of a business that can generate enough, or a school combination with like Val Tutor, for example. The site that I showed you is to tutor somebody. But if I have a PhD and you need some tutoring, for example, somebody wanted to hire me specifically to teach their daughter uh, Excel programming. She graduated, she got a degree, and she went to a business and they wanted her to program, and she didn't know how to program. She didn't even know Excel well. So this woman wanted to hire me as a tutor to teach her daughter, and I did a few sessions with her and taught her something. How to write. The point is that this is a typical thing that is easy to generate cash flow quickly. But use it instead of doing it just the old fashioned way, just me and the student, or the professor and the student, we will have AI also in it. But I want to teach them something about that doesn't require any skill. So like talking and chatting. I'm not going to teach you math. Any, but the important thing to use it in an area not like programming where you can make a stupid statement and then you see the program doesn't work. But when you give therapy, there cannot be a wrong answer. Yes, this is why I don't want to teach issues that you can quickly find that the AI is no good. Like this was a perfect example what you gave me. You downloaded this. How did you get this model on your phone? You downloaded it. What did you do? You downloaded ChatGPT? Okay, you didn't tell me that. That's what I'm asking you. You paid the pro? Okay. Oh, really? Okay, fine. That's right. This is why it's not good. I want I want AI to listen, and I'm asking you, how do you feel? And you say I'm depressed. So I'm telling the AI, look, my friend Carlos is depressed. What do you think? How can I help him? So not the feeling of the AI, the feeling of you. Yes. Grammatical errors, yes. Uh-huh. So then what if you go to probabilities? What is the probabilities of what? Of getting it perfect? Oh, oh, of course. Will correct it. Per- yes. Yes. Apple. Apple. Okay. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. 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 Yes. So what is your point? So it made one and two. That's the problem. That's what I don't want you to do. I want you to do about you and I talk about our feeling and the AI comments about it. It's not deterministic. That's right. I know. That is why I want non deter. Oh, I see. Okay, fine, fine, fine. I don't care, but I want to reach some understanding with you because I think that we have an opportunity and the timing now is right and we can come up with something that nobody else have. I want to decide now, so you don't do anything, just think about it. I want you to imagine. Fine, fine. That's if you don't, if you want to focus on one thing at a time, that is fine. Fine, fine. That's fine. But I want to tell you about me, and let's focus. I agree with you absolutely. Fine. You don't have to think about it. I don't want you to think about it. I want you to keep it in the back of your mind that there's a long-term path here. It's just not doing this and forgetting about it and go to hell and don't call me. I think that we have an opportunity here that I was looking just for somebody like you, also because I don't speak Spanish and I have to deal with a lot of Spanish. I wanted to have somebody that is bilingual. And you don't have to worry about it, but I want you to know that I'm thinking about it. And I see that, first of all, you could be like an assistant professor. You understand? And not only that you'll be an assistant professor, but you'll have evidence that you can share with the world. And I can bring you in a conference and say, here is Carlos. He's our assistant professor. And here you can see him talking to 30 people and explaining to him about what you are doing here. And in 5 seconds, you'll see your face on Zoom and 30 other people listening to you and asking you question, and the whole thing will take less than 5 minutes. You will say something and they will say something, and it will be a video clip that it will look convincing. Look, Carlos is an assistant professor, so he can teach and he can assistant lecture, call it whatever you want. But to have evidence that you can share with the world. And we can come and we can say, we are going to set up a team and we will have a lot of people just like Carlos with his background that will set up to deal with this topic but apply to your environment. Maybe other professors also in other universities. We're going to have a professor from Miami Dade in the next conference, and he will be talking about AI. So the idea is to, once we make a sample with us, that we can package it in a way that we can showcase you and us to the world. We will do that, and we'll find somebody to deploy it. And if nobody deploys it, I will deploy it myself. I'll set up a business around it. And I explained to you already that I don't feel comfortable being and she being professors here to appear like we compete with the university, which in fact we will be doing. If I'm going to offer classes and the students can choose between taking a class at the university and taking a class directly from me, it will appear like I'm cutting the university out, which is not really true because the university is not going to offer classes like this exactly. But anyway, I don't want to give the appearance of it. So I rather make you the president of the company so that way, if they say, hey, you make it appear as if you compete with the university, I say, I'm acting as a consultant to Carlos, which is true. So I want you to know that I'm thinking long term. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, okay. Anyways, it was good to talk to you. Change the what? Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yes. But I like very much your example that you use with the guy from Oracle. That is perfect. You got the idea. We have some understanding. That's what I wanted to work on. Shorter. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Okay. You too. Let's make sure that you know. Yeah, it's a confusing campus. Yeah, let me tell you how to get out of here. You know how to get out? So where do you think you are? Your car. Okay, good. So let's go. Our car is there too. Yes. So tell me, how do you think to get to US one from here? Fine, but forget about your phone. Without your phone, you cannot tell me. And then what? No. So you see, you go. Be quiet. You go straight this way. You see, there is a hospital called a doctor's hospital. You come out of the parking lot. You make a right-hand turn, and you go straight with the street all the way. Oh, 826. So you want to go to the opposite direction. Okay, you got the idea. Okay, so we'll stay in touch, and if you and if you yeah, and if you want to share with us something and do a little practice, we can do it on Zoom. Okay, okay. Stay well. Drive carefully. Bye bye. Yeah, I was disappointed too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fine. What is this? Okay, this yeah, closed maintenance. Okay. You got a ticket? Yes. Fine. Yes. We're working, yeah. I don't know, just to see your beauty. Let's go. I was thinking maybe I'll put something in, but I don't think I need. You think that he will be interested in participating in this music technology? Because he really made a music video with his water. I'm asking you a question. Just say yes or no, whatever. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah. You mean this Ali? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're driving on the wrong side of the street. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Goodbye, Charlie. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yes. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a big rocket scientist she ain't either. I don't know. Is that what she got her PhD in? Okay. I didn't get that exactly. I thought she got in neuroscience. You know? You should go in the other way. It's all right. All the roads lead to Rome. This is the long. A long round. You got confused. It's okay. We'll survive. So this is the University of Miami tennis courts here, and beyond the tennis courts, you see are the dorms, and then in front of us you see Ponce de Leon Boulevard and a stop sign. Over the next further away is the metro rail system, and beyond it is US 1 South Dixie Highway, and you still see the police cars are parked in front of Temple Judea that has some, yes, an event that is winding down. 15% left in my battery, which is low battery. So we'll have to wrap it up pretty soon now, since these devices are running out of power. But it looks like he's doing a little progress. So Carlos is doing great. So he's very specific. Fine. Gerardo. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yes. Fine. Uh-huh. Fine. Yes, I know. That's fine. Fine. Yes. Got it. Good. So I told him. Fine. Fine. Do this. Yeah. The fact is that I told him a long time ago about gaming, and he says now he came up with the idea that it is a good idea. Fine. It's a give and take, you know. Fine. He did or he did not. We'll have to do something with him too. Yeah. Fine stuff. Who is he? Oh, he has to get 2,400 for 2 bedroom. Yes. Fine. So we are on par. Well, that's good then. That the plumbing is a problem. I know and how. Okay, go on. You're ready to go. Tired, go to sleep. I don't know how this woman makes a living either, you know? The one from FIU? Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Maybe she can have a professor. Maybe she can have us. Fine. So I told them when we find an MBA, we'll let you know. Doesn't look like she has anything. What is her idea exactly? Do you know? So what is it? Yeah. Oh, to share the data, the medical data. It's an old idea. Don't you remember the doctors from years ago that they wanted to do the same thing? Yeah. So there's nothing new about that. Mhm. What does that have to do with? Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Oh, the Arab, the Jordanian. Yes. Yes. So now what I wanted to do is I wanted to charge this baby. Yes, please. Yes. That sounds great. Yes.
she was on the curriculum of the chemistry module the first year. Whether she was teaching or was like a teaching assistant, she was supposed to. They redid their curriculum, the medical school. The guy told me they're trying to get the students into the hospital earlier so they get exposure. They also can use them as help. You understand? Give them cheap labor. two-time U.S. all-around champ and leader here in 2024, Brody Malone. Actually has a move named after him. His amount does not do that too often. That underbar skill, where grip is so critical. Very nice. Completely unfazed. That's what he looks like. Yeah. Big release right here. Brody used to do a double front for a dismount, which in a lot of ways is much easier to stick, in my opinion. It's a little tough on his knee, so he goes backwards, double tight, just a small little hop on the landing, but once again, fabulous. Find me a deduction, though, other than the landing. And they're going to come up with a point, right, Tim? Oh, yeah, but there's no way. Yeah, it'll probably be 1.1, 1.2. Just taking the dip. Are you surprised what you're seeing from Brody Malone off that injury? Absolutely blown away beyond belief. I mean, Terry, most gymnasts would have probably just stopped after that injury. And then maybe 5% of them would have said, you know what, I'm going to come all the way back and do floor and vault as well. Amazing. I mean, pretty much if you can name a ligament in the knee he tore, it was a disastrous injury. He is absolutely world class in the all around, world class on high bar. How about you, Moldauer now? Getting set for Pommel Horse in 9th place after the 2 rotations tonight. Maybe his most critical routine right here. He fell on Pommel Horse night 1. He said basically when he does his flare skills, where his legs are apart, it was really bothering the hip. But I'll tell you what, in a lot of ways, and we've seen this so far, sometimes throughout the years when I've watched Fuel, if he's got something that's a little bit not perfect, it gives him something that takes away the focus. And he's able to sometimes be a little bit cleaner in the competition. It's the old beware of the injured athlete. Yeah, this is such a critical routine. One of the biggest, in my opinion, not just for Yule, but the ripple effect that it could have on putting together this team because Pommel is such a critical event for Team USA. This is a moment. A little bit of a hesitation there. Lose a couple of tenths. This stuff, no problem. Do a little bit more one pommel work. Nice body position. And this is where it gets dicey. That hip is being torqued on every single slayer skill. Going well. This is where he came off right here. Not today. He is going for it, man. If he flies up to a handstand, this is gigantic. Wow. That was fantastic. And that is a routine that if Yul Moldauer is on the Olympic team, they can put that up in the team finals on Pommel Horse as a top 3 routine, and it will hold its weight. Selection committee, 5-member selection committee needs to be confident in certain events from certain guys to put them on that team. Absolutely. They're going to look at numbers first, though, and they're going to look at each athlete's top 3 scores on each event. 14.9, the number of parallel bars for Brody Malone. And added to those top 3 on the top. So right now, Brody Malone is far ahead of where he was night 1. Take you over the rings right now, and Coy Young in 3rd place throughout. That gigantic Pommel Horse routine he did, I'm sure,
has calmed him down a little bit. This is not an event that Coy would think he would compete in the team finals. He's fantastic on 5 events, not quite as physically strong as some of the other athletes. And night 1 had a huge problem. One of his hands pinged off the ring on his dismount, and somehow he was able to hold on, put it to his feet, 2 flips, 2 twists. Basically, it's like you're shot in the air. And he found the ground.
Wow.
There we go, right here. Oh.
If you were made to name a few right now that you just expect to be there in Paris, he'd be one of them.
Absolutely. I cannot envision a team where he is not on.
Never on pommel horse, Guillermo Bauer, 13-7.
Wow. I don't get that once again, and I know Yule does not either. 13-7.
All right, Donnell Wittenberg in 8th place after the second rotation. Vault is his next event, and this will be key for him, John.
Yeah, there's 2 Americans that do the most difficult vault in the world. It's Asher Hong and Donnell Wittenberg. It's called the Risei Guan. Here is Asher doing it. 3 flips from the time they leave the board until they land on the mat with a full twist within there. Here's Donnell's attempt. A little better than Asher's night 1. And these 2, again, we talked about it. They're going head-to-head. The selection committee wants one of these vaults on the team. But who's higher? I think Donnell gets the nod right there. But the key difference in night 1 was the landing. And here's a closer look at it. Likely only one of these guys makes the team, and this could be the deciding factor. Night 1, Asher Hong a little short. You can see him on the left. Big deductions there. Donnell takes that step back. But you give the nod to Donnell night 1. Now here we go, round 2.
And a short time ago, it was Donnell Wittenberg with this vault.
Just frankly, I'd be petrified to do this vault, and I know he is. But he knows he has to do it. That was absolutely better than night 1. That is a very big outcome for Donnell Wittenberg. He's a world medalist on this event on vaulting. And he's showing you why. As John said, that is 3 flips around. That was a huge moment in this whole process, and I know you know that. That's Donnell driving the green on a par 4, and now Asher Hong's got to tee it up. But that was big time.
Had a lot of golf analogies tonight. Opened up with one. I like it. 14-6, the number. They won a bronze medal on ball back in 2015 at the World Championships as they work on Coy Young right now. 13-6, the number for rings.
Once again, much better than night 1. He was only 13.2. Most people are doing better.
I do want to see this.
How about Frederick Richard? He does want to be known as Frederick. We've known him as Fred the last couple of years, but he's a little exhausted right now.
I've known him as Fred for about 14 years, Tara.
Yeah? All right. The effort a moment ago on high bar. Oh, he's got the energy back now. Here we go.
He had the second highest score to Brody night 1 with a 14.4. Big, huge release coming up right here. Gorgeous. So hard, but believe it or not, he's capable of doing another skill, add a full twist onto that, which would raise his maximum potential score even more.
Wow.
Handstands have been good. Here's a critical one. little bit shy. That's a 3/10 deduction right there. That one at least 1, maybe 3 as well, but a little bit of a hop.
But finding Alcala was going to be no simple matter.
Rodney Alcala, after raping and almost killing Callie Shapiro, he fled to New York. He made friends, he charmed people, he got into NYU film school.
None of his fellow students suspected that their popular classmate had a double life, which had the makings of a film itself. A horror film. 3 years after his attack on Callie Shapiro, Alcala's dark side once again emerged.
One more fish on it.
She had a beautiful face. She carried herself extremely sophisticatedly.
His next victim, Cornelia Michael Crilly, a 23-year-old flight attendant for TWA.
I was living with her temporarily while she was getting her own apartment ready around the corner to share with another stewardess.
Crilly had spent the day moving in. When Borstein came home from work, he was surprised to find her door locked, and no one answered the phone.
When her boyfriend was trying to reach her and was unable, the police came and a horrible scene.
Prosecutor Melissa Morges was struck by the ferocious nature of the killing.
She had been stripped naked. She was strangled with a nylon stocking, and there was a bite mark on her breast.
Well, obviously, of course, attempted strangulation. She's bound, she's held. There's something stuffed in her mouth to keep her from screaming.
The police focused in on Cornelia's murder, but with almost 2,000 killings in New York in 1971, investigators could not close the case.
They had no real leads. We didn't have the forensic tools that we have today, so they did what they could, but it never went anyplace, and the case just went cold, and it stayed cold for 40 years.
Rodney Alcala wasn't even a suspect. After the murder, he changed his name to John Berger and moved to New Hampshire. He landed a job as a counselor at an arts and drama camp for girls. There, he made a lasting impression on the campers.
2 girls went to their local post office and they looked, and there was Rodney Alcala's photo on the FBI 10 most wanted list. They looked up and said, "Oh my gosh, that's Mr. Berger." They reported to the dean. He calls the authorities. They arrest him, take him into custody. I get a phone call from the FBI saying, "We've got your man in custody. He's ready to be picked up."
Police in California were eager to charge him for Callie Shapiro's brutal assault, but her family had left the country. With no main witness, prosecutors had no choice but to offer Alcala a deal. Plead guilty to a lesser charge of child molestation and register as a sex offender. He took the deal, but the judge's sentence stunned those working the case.
He received 1 year to life, and the parole board let him go after 34 months after what he did to Callie Shapiro.
So less than 3 years later, Rodney Alcala was a free man again.
I was flabbergasted, to say the least. It just amazed me.
And Alcala had no trouble charming his way back into the swing of things.
He was hired by the Los Angeles Times to work as a typesetter. He took photos at weddings, and he was a registered sex offender during all of that, and nobody ever checked.
Even worse, he was chosen to be a contestant on the dating game.
The dating game!
The Bachelor of its day. What no one knew was that Rodney Alcala was already a serial killer.
Please welcome Rodney Alcala.
From all outward appearances, Rodney Alcala was a handsome, I'd call him the banana, and looked really good. Charming, smart young man.
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number 1. That's your number 1. All right.
That wouldn't hurt a fly.
The woman who won a date with him ended up backing out, saying she found him creepy.
Come on, over here.
Intuition probably
saved her life. Others would not be so fortunate. We'll never know how many women are lucky, because every woman that crossed that guy's path was a potential victim.
There's a creepiness factor in the house.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily, Jardians. And each day starts as I put on, it was easy to see. I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardians works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardians can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, congenital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardians and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have an increased risk for lower lip loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardians with sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Since release one little pill with a big story to tell.
At KFC, grab 2 pieces of hot, juicy chicken, a side of mashed potatoes and gravy, and a biscuit for just $4.99. Son of a bucket, that's a good deal. New taste of KFC deals. Only at KFC. What is Circle? Circle is what you hope for when life tosses things your way. Circle is your frosted treat with a sweet kick of confidence. Circle is the effortless inch that gets you in the zone. Circle, available at Walmart and drinkcircle.com.
The darkness of bipolar depression made me feel like I was losing interest in the things I love. Then I found a chance to let in the light. Discover Capilita. Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar 1, Capilita is proven to deliver significant symptom relief from both bipolar 1 and 2 depression. And in clinical trials, movement disorders and weight gain were not common.
Capilita can cause serious side effects. Call your doctor about sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks in young adults. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Capilita is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Report fever, confusion, or stiff muscles which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements which may be permanent. Common side effects include sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, and dry mouth. These aren't all the side effects.
In the darkness of bipolar 1 and 2 depression, Capilita can help you let in the light. Ask your doctor about Capilita. Find savings and support at capilita.com.
Former President Trump is convicted on 34 felony counts. As the presumptive GOP nominee faces sentencing and 3 more criminal cases, how does it impact the election? We'll break it all down. I'm Laura Brennan, joining you from Face the Nation. Big Brother is back, July 17th on CBS. But first, did you see that? See what everyone will be talking about this summer when Big Brother returns July 17th on CBS.
But most of those programmers are like that.
It was 1977. Rodney Alcala was out of prison and living in New York. Bad news for the New York cops, who already had their hands full. A homegrown serial killer known as Son of Sam was terrorizing the city. He struck again over the weekend, the killer's 6th victim. Police say they are nowhere near solving the case. By this time, the Cornelia Crowley case had been cold for 6 years with no suspects. Rodney Alcala was only in the city a week before adding to the New York crime wave. His next victim, a 23-year-old musician and artist named Ellen Homer.
Ellen was a sweet, gentle soul.
Anita Feinberg and Ellen Homer met as teenagers.
Ellen was a very dear college friend. We roomed together for some time. She never confused what she had with who she was.
Ellen Homer came from a prominent show business family. Her father owned the famed Hollywood nightclub Zeros. Her godfathers were Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin.
Her mom called me and said, "Anita, have you heard from Ellen?" And I said, "No." She said, "Think hard. Nobody can find Ellen." And I didn't think anything
family's high profile made the story front page news, as the NYPD kept up the hunt for her.
That detective did a great job for a missing persons case. It was a lot of calls, he did a lot of work, a lot of legwork.
Detectives thought they were onto something when they found an important clue in her apartment.
Ellen Hover had marked on her calendar that she was going to see someone named John Berger on the date that she disappeared.
Remember, Alcala had been using the name John Berger, but at the time, the connection was never made.
Her body wasn't found until a year later, buried on the grounds of the Phelps Memorial Hospital in Westchester, near the Rockefeller estate.
Until they actually found her, there was always a glimmer of hope. Once they found her body, that was it.
Ellen's body was so decomposed, police had to use dental records to identify her.
Based on the autopsy, they declared it a homicide. There was a suspect in the murder, a fellow that they believed was the last person that she was seen with.
Could that fellow have been Alcala? Ellen had written his alias, John Berger, in her calendar. Alcala, meanwhile, had left New York and was on his meandering road trip back to California.
He was constantly in predatory mode. That is behavior that involves hunting human beings. And that's part of a serial sexual killer. That is often as exciting as the actual homicide and sexual assault.
At the same time Rodney Alcala was on the road, a 29-year-old woman from Texas, Christine Ruth Thornton, was traveling through the West with her boyfriend. Her sister Kathy was 11 years younger.
Chris was a free spirit kind of gal, so she always was up for anything.
In the spring of 1977, Christine was heading to Montana with her boyfriend to pan for gold. And she had big news.
She let my mom know that she was going to be having a baby, and then nothing more was heard.
Kathy immediately feared the worst. Christine and her boyfriend had a stormy relationship.
She had been abused by him, we knew that. I always thought that he had done something to her.
Soon after Christine disappeared, Kathy began searching for answers. She undertook a systematic effort to track Christine and her boyfriend's whereabouts that would last almost 40 years, through marriage, motherhood, divorce, and a career. Kathy contacted police departments, federal agencies, hospitals, and kept copies of every phone call and letter.
This was a letter I sent to the FBI. I contacted the Department of Health and Human Services. They said, check at this address, failed to reveal any contact with Christine Ruth Thornton. The Social Security Administration, I contacted them asking if there was any employment record, and there has never been any employment history. You know, I think the message was kind of clear. Everything was no, we don't know, we have nothing. Looking back through this, it's like, yeah, it was staring me in the face. She was not alive.
Kathy didn't know the name Rodney Alcala, but one day she would.
Hear more about the psychology of a sexual serial killer now on Facebook at 48 Hours.
You might be used to living with your albuterol asthma rescue inhaler, but it's a bit of a dinosaur because it only treats your symptoms, not inflammation. Treating both symptoms and inflammation with rescue is supported by asthma experts. Finally, there's a modern way to treat symptoms and asthma attacks. Air Supra is the first ever dual-action rescue inhaler that treats your asthma symptoms and helps prevent attacks. Air Supra is the only rescue FDA approved to do both. Air Supra is an as-needed rescue inhaler and should not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing does not improve, continues to worsen, or for serious allergic reactions. Using AirSupra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include heart problems, increased risk of thrush, or infections. Welcome to the modern age of dual-action asthma rescue. Ask your doctor if AirSupra is right for you. Try killing bugs the worry-free way, not the other way. Zevo traps use light to attract and trap flying insects with no odor and no mess. They work continuously, so you don't have to. Zevo, people-friendly, not deadly. What was that?
Nothing. Gorilla Super Glue. Brush for edge-to-edge coverage and nozzle for precise application all in one. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
I love my work caring for people, like women who struggle with urinary incontinence. At home, I care for my mother with the help of the innovative PureWick system. This external system uses a soft, flexible wig placed outside the body to draw urine away from the body and into a collection canister. It's non-invasive and designed to stay in place and help keep the skin dry.
Order yours online at purewickathome.com or call 800-773-8792 today.
With so many choices on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. So I hired body doubles. Mountain climbing Tina at a cabin or tree